Hey, got a new module to look at. It's well written, it looks great. In short, it's a damn good time. Stick around, I'll tell you about it. Hiya, folks. Old Man Grognard here, and I got another module to look at from Fail Squad Games. This one is called Those Damn Goblins. Now, this is supposed to be part of the Lands of Lunacy series of theirs, but it can run in practically any game. In fact, it is set up to run. It's for Labyrinth Lord or any other old school game. It says Labyrinth Lord Beck Me, but it also has 5e stats, so you can run it with 5e. It's 38 pages. It was produced in 2018, and it was written by Christopher Clark with Lloyd Metcalf and Bob Brinkman. So it was Christopher's main story, and Lloyd and Bob helped out with it. And they helped out in a big way. It's a really nice book. It's, like I said, 38 pages, and it's for first to third levels. And I kind of like that. I'll tell you why, because it's hard to find an intro adventure that's somewhat a little more involved than the usual intro adventure, but still, hits that spot of, like, maybe you're using it for, I don't know, the newbies or people who are more experienced who want to start at first level. Here's what the book looks like. It's a paper. It's a soft bound. Looks like it's square bound too, and it's very well. Let me show you. Let me show you what the inside looks like. Here's the inside, 2-column. Now they divide things like traps and monsters, or monsters mostly, into 2 stat blocks. If you see the blue one, the one in the blue box, that's the Labyrinth Lord Beck Me BX whatever stats. The ones without the box are the 5e stats, and it's dual statted through the whole thing, which is really nice. And it's got a really interesting story too, but I just want to show you what the book looks like before I go on to that. Nice clear maps that Lloyd is known for. We've got here some of the animals, some of the monsters in the book. And it's really easy to read. I can read this without my glasses. It's fun. And in the back, they give you a character sheet. That's for the main NPC right there. But he also gives you a blank character sheet for Labyrinth Lord, Beck Me, etc. But he also gives you a nice blank 5e sheet. As character sheets go, you guys know how I feel about 5e, but I gotta say, that is a really nice looking character sheet. Now, the plot, such as it is. Here it is in a nutshell. Some people moved into a valley, and they called it Fertile Plain. Oh, it's a great place to build a town if it weren't for this swamp or river or whatever it is, drowning everything. So they dammed it. Unfortunately, when they dammed it, it flooded out a goblin town or population, goblin warren, and they flooded it out, and they're looking for revenge. They want to get rid of the townsfolk, so they hooked up with this one guy, a magic user from the town, who doesn't really like the town very much. And he has a real rivalry with the main cleric in that town. They've grown up, and each of them wants the other dead, believe it or not. Anyway, they hooked up with him, and he came up with the idea, since they don't have any fighters or anything because they all got drowned, it came up with, he found out there's some goblins who are really good at engineering. So they engineered this, what they call infernal machine, which the sole purpose is to bust the dam and flood the people out. And they've had people disappear in the town, and the town wants you to investigate and see what's going on. Because they've felt like rumbles under the ground, but they figure it's some volcanic activity, but it doesn't seem to be, they're ignoring the obvious, basically, and you got to figure out what's going on. That's it in a nutshell. Now, it gets a little complicated. There's also an outcast goblin who lives with his giant, I think, weasel in the forest, who was cast out because he's an albino. And it's one of those things where, do not walk into my forest. Do not, Do not bring your evil here. And things like that. And he could either be a help or a hindrance. He's kind of a wild card. The goblins also, to drive the people away, and this is a little side adventure that could be part of it, they are throwing like waste and offal and stuff into the water supply, trying to poison the water supply. So, that's the way it goes. Also, the mage has a little problem that I'm not really going to tell you. You'll find out in the module. It has to do with a cursed magic item, but you'll figure it out. And what I like about this module is I've been looking for a good intro module for Swords and Wizardry Light, because it seems like when I'm doing demos and stuff, it's like I always use the same one-page dungeon, and other people use other things, but it's like we don't have a regular module to work in, and this is good for your group, whether you're playing Swords and Wizardry or whatever you're playing, is the fact that this is made for characters from 1st to 3rd level. Good intro module. I think it's a good intro module because it does something, excuse me, it does something more than just go down the dungeon, kill, and loot. And that's kind of a good hook for newbies, I guess. But this gives it a little more complicated, and they got to think a little more, which is good because I always felt that newbie players are underestimated. I've learned that with my grandson and other people who are, I've never done this before. Well, they get to be better role players than you think because they're actually, thinking about stuff. And it gives it a little complication with the machine you got to stop and things like that, and what is really going on. I like a little investigation with my stories because it makes the players think. And this gets the newbie thinking like a role player and just thinking in general, which is what I like, because it doesn't just hand you somebody's been kidnapped, you got to go down the dungeon and find him, or something like that. Some evil mage has some tower, and you got to get rid of him. There's some goblins or orcs or whatever, and you got to get rid of them. Nah. I mean, as a GM, I get kind of bored with it. So I like this module because I can throw it up to newbies, and it's it's going to make them think a bit. It's going to make them, work at it a little. I mean, not too much. You don't want to throw them too much. I mean, you're not going to throw them into the Temple of Elemental Evil right off the bat. So that gets them thinking, and I like that. And as far as Lands of Lunacy goes, it is part of the Lands of Lunacy series, but it's probably the most normal one of the bunch. This thing you can throw into any area. You don't have to, have a little bubble area for it. You can throw this anywhere, which is good. I like that. So, Lands of Lunacy. I'm sorry, those damn goblins. Where are you going to find it? Okay, on RPG Now and DriveThru RPG, you can get the PDF for $8. This was Kickstarted a while ago, successfully, of course. So you can get it for about $8 on DriveThru and RPG Now. To get a print copy like I have, you got to go to the Fail Squad Games site, and that's going to run you about $15. I'll have all the stuff down there. So that is those damn goblins. And if you try it out, if you get it, if you like it, if you don't like it, let me know at oldmangrognard@gmail.com and press the like button down there, please. Anyway, that's my review. And so until next time, bye-bye.